Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day so far. So anyways, I wanted to take a look at this subject specifically at the news about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Not all of it though, I wanted to go over the news, well, not really the news, but something that they said and then my theories about it. I know that tons of other YouTube channels and outlets have gone over the entire thing, so I'm not going to do that here, but let's go over a few words from the director and showrunner, Deborah Chow, and of course Kathleen Kennedy. But before we do, consider throwing up a like or even subscribe if you end up enjoying the content. More is coming as I'm working hard at growing this channel and bringing more Star Wars to its forefront on the daily. Anyways, here we go. So the heads of the special event series, Obi-Wan Kenobi, they do hint that we're going to see the once Master and Apprentice square off again in what they call an epic rematch. So we know the last time the two of them fought, at this point, was their duel on the world of Mustafar, when Obi-Wan went to confront Anakin and Yoda stuck to Coruscant to face the Emperor, Darth Sidious. And I mean, I imagine that if you're here, if you're watching or listening to this video, that you're probably not the average moviegoer who just happens to like Star Wars. You're here because you know your stuff and you want to know more, or just kind of dive into it. One of those things being that as far as we know, Vader and Kenobi don't really face each other again until Episode 4 A New Hope. That's been made very clear by the staging of the story set by George Lucas, and it's even been made clear by dialogue in Episode 4, all the way from Vader saying, "I sense something, a presence I have not felt since," to him also saying, "I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. We meet again at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master." Let's end the quotes for a sec. So to me, that entirely implies and makes absolutely clear that the last time these two met is at the end of the Clone Wars. It was on that tragic day on Mustafar with galactic ramifications, and then the second time being the Death Star. And yeah, I know the story did see some twists and turns behind the scenes over its entire 40 years. George Lucas had different plans originally for who Vader was, who Anakin was, who they would be. That's until he polished it up sometime after release of the original film. However, in the end, the point is that he brought a total continuity. George Lucas leveled it out and he glued it together masterfully. And in doing so, he showed us that the only two times these two ever truly fight is on Mustafar and then again on the Death Star. Alright, so now it's time to get into the theories. It's time to look at what Lucasfilm and Disney may do here. And yeah, we have a few options with these theories. One being that we look deeper into the depths, the mythos, the legends behind the mystical energy that is the Force. We all know and we see that it has so much potential both tapped and untapped. Some of the best of it comes from legends, and some other controversial powers and connections we see more recently in the sequel trilogy. But looking at just what is possible with the Force, and also keeping it within reason without going wild, we could see Obi-Wan and Vader have a bout in terms of visions with one another, through their strong connection they once shared as Master and Apprentice in the Jedi Order, a connection I'm not too sure has totally faded away. Now hear me out. We've seen these connections can be strong. Legends is full of masters and apprentices with bonds unyielding. Let's take a look at Knights of the Old Republic 2, for example. Kreia and the Exile. They are bonded in that. A bond that lasts even towards the end when Kreia has let her true dark nature shine. Then, I'm going to bring up a more controversial Force bond. It is the dyad between Rey and Ben Solo / Kylo Ren. And I know it's not everyone's favorite, but this is canon now, in the new canon at least. And while I highly doubt that Obi-Wan and Anakin have a dyad, especially as Palpatine said that it hasn't been seen in generations at the time of the Rise of Skywalker, it does show me that connections through the Force do exist. At least, we're talking about the new canon, that they've made that a thing that exists. Both this and what I just mentioned in Legends, that shows that these connections to the Force, that they can go from weak things, to whispers of the mind, to strong bonds, even to feeling pain of one another, even to touching and reaching out and feeling one another. So if Disney has the ability to hit the extreme note by making a dyad something in one of the main films, I cannot see why they wouldn't play with the lesser forms of it, such as the Master and Apprentice bond that Anakin and Obi-Wan have shared over many, many years. A bond that I just can't see breaking all of a sudden, even if Anakin embraced darkness, even if he hated his former master. I feel it's still there. Alright, so with that one behind us, I do think that we may just see the two of them hold some sort of rematch as it's put through the Force. And not by throwing stones or Force lightning or anything like that, but through their once strong bond. We already know that Vader has been raging and hating about what his former Jedi Master did to him on Mustafar, so why wouldn't he try to reform their bond in a twisted Sith fashion to find him? Who knows, but we'll find out in a couple of years it seems, and I could not be more excited to find out how they do this. Now let's take a look at the other method that the creators of the show could potentially take. They could just scrap and repurpose what we thought we knew, twisting the words around that Darth Vader spoke on the Death Star, such as Obi-Wan turned the words about Vader killing Anakin to Luke into something else. They could morph them into meaning an entirely different thing in order to show us that there was an earlier confrontation which Vader was referencing. I'm not sure how they'd do this, but they could, and they will if they can. And I know that we could see an actual physical battle, one that I don't believe would take place on Tatooine at all. So I don't think anyone should expect that. There is going to be no battle on the sands. I feel that Vader won't ever know Kenobi is there, at least not till way later on when he's a Force ghost. Otherwise, the wise Jedi Master would not have been able to hermit out there and wait for Luke to come of age in peace. He'd have had stormtroopers, inquisitors, and even Vader himself combing every grain of sand to find him. It'd be too unsafe and it just wouldn't make sense. So if they do physically fight, and not through the Force, but actually fight face to face, I feel it would be on another planet, in another system, or it could perhaps be aboard an Imperial vessel or within an Imperial facility. Perhaps Obi-Wan is pushed into a quest that has led him to cross paths with his former pupil. Or perhaps he gets hope and reaches out to see if Anakin Skywalker is truly that lost. Who knows? I'm just speculating. That's what these are after all. They're just speculations, ideas, fun little theories that bounce around in my mind, but it's still all fun to play with. So anyways, everybody, what do you guys think? Do you think that they'll have an actual physical fight, or do you think it's going to be more through the Force somehow? Either way, I'm totally curious to see just how it's going to play out. They promised a big twist the other day by saying that Obi-Wan and Vader will face off again, so I guess that we're going to have to wait to find out just how they execute that. But still, totally let me know what you guys think in the comments. I want to hear what the rest of the community believes. And if you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing or even tossing up a like. It helps tons as I work hard to grow the channel. I know that it's been a slow burn, but let's make this a fun, interesting, and engaging Star Wars channel and community for those wanting another one. A non-toxic place to just talk about our favorite galaxy far, far away. And if you've already subscribed or liked by, that's your supporting the channel, I want to say thank you. It literally means so much. Just know that if you've stuck to us, that if you're watching still, that more Star Wars content is coming and it's gonna keep coming. That is an always. Anyways, take it easy. May the Force be with you and stay safe, everyone. I will catch you on the next one.